Do you know why MVPs take forever and cost too much? It's not the code, it's the first version. Let me explain. Hi, I'm Marcin, I work with founders on early stage products and MVPs, and I talk to people planning an MVP almost every week. Different ideas, different markets, but I keep hearing the same story. The MVP was supposed to take 1 month, but now it's weeks later than expected. The budget is growing and the product is still not in user hands. When that happens, it's rarely because the team can't build. It's usually because the first version is built for the wrong goal. The goal of the MVP is not to look complete. The goal is to learn. So what is an MVP actually? It's the smallest version of a product you can release to real users. To learn something important, not to impress, not to scale, but to answer the key question. Do users want this and do they understand it? So in this video, I will show you 3 different mistakes that turn a 1-month MVP into half-year project. So let's go through them. Mistake number 1. The MVP is simply too big. It shows up in a very predictable way. Founders try to put everything into the first version. Multiple login options, advanced profiles, admin dashboards, roles and permissions, settings, nice to have that feel small, but together they turn into one huge project. Here's why it's tricky. Every feature sounds reasonable on its own. It's just one more login option. It's just a simple admin screen. It's just profiles. But MVP scope doesn't grow like one big decision. It grows like 100 small ones. So you need a rule. Build one path, not a full product. Think what is the shortest path from open the app to the user gets value. Then build only that path. Everything else goes into a later list, not because it's bad, but because it doesn't help you learn yet. And here's something people forget. Your first MVP users are not the mainstream. Early traction usually comes from innovators and early adopters. People who actually enjoy trying new things and can tolerate imperfections. That changes what must-have means. For example, early users don't need 10 login options. Email login is often enough. Adding Google, Apple, Facebook magic links, that's weeks of work across edge cases, testing and support. And it usually doesn't help you learn whether the product is valuable. Save that for later, when you are closer to the mainstream users. People who expect a polished, bug-free app. But in real projects, those later features keep sneaking into version 1. And here's the important part. This usually doesn't come from lack of skill. It comes from trying to make everyone happy. A co-founder wants more features. A future client asks for one extra thing. Someone says we might need an admin panel. And suddenly, version 1 becomes a collection of requests. So instead of asking what is absolutely essential, founders start asking what else can we add? And that's when things start to get out of control. The scope grows, decisions slow down, and every extra feature creates extra work around it. That's how the 1-month MVP becomes a half-year project. Costs go up and real learning never begins, because nobody is using the product yet. Let me tell you a real story from a marketplace app I work on. The core idea was simple. People list items, other people browse, and someone buys. That's the value. But our MVP quickly turned into a social network. Likes, comments, a community feed, even direct chat. Plus separate flows for sellers and buyers with different screens and logic. And here's the crazy part. After a week, we had some activity. Likes, comments, even some feedback from users. But when we ask ourselves, okay, is anyone actually trying to buy? We had no idea. No proper analytics, no funnel. We couldn't tell if people were browsing listing, contacting sellers, or completing a single transaction. Looking back, we could have done so much manually. Approve listing by hand, handle the first chats yourself, even coordinate the first transaction offline. This MVP should have been one path. Create listing, view listing, contact seller, complete one transaction. Everything else was from later features list. And that leads to mistake number 2, where founders launch an MVP with no learning plan. They ship something, wait a few weeks, and then ask, so do users really like it? But they don't know. They don't know where users drop off. They don't know what confuses people. They don't know what people use and what they don't, because there is no tracking, no clear feedback loop, and no clear goal for what they are trying to learn. And the crazy part is, basic analytics is usually hours of work, not weeks. It's one of the highest ROI things you can add to an MVP. A few events and a simple funnel, and suddenly you are not guessing anymore. For an MVP, you can track just few things. How many people start onboarding, how many finish it, what's the first meaningful action, and how many people reach it, where people get stuck and how many come back. That's enough to learn fast. Then add one simple feedback channel. A short question inside the app or few quick calls with early users. Without that, an MVP stops being a learning tool. It becomes just an early release. Real example again. A habit tracker mobile app. Your learning goal isn't does the UI look polished. It's do people come back tomorrow. So what do you track? It's super simple funnel. You track installs, finish onboarding, create first habit, log it once, then return within 24 hours. If you see people drop during onboarding, you don't need more features. You need clarity. And if they log once but never return, you don't need a community tab. You need a stronger first win and a better reminder loop. Mistake number 3. Building the MVP like it already has a million users. This one is super common with technical founders. People worry about perfect architecture, perfect scalability, and building everything from scratch. Custom authorization, custom backend, custom admin tools, and they spend months on infrastructure before they even know if users need the feature. But at MVP stage, your job is speed of learning. So use tools that already solve the basics and let you ship fast. Firebase or Supabase for authorization, Cloud Functions for simple backend logic, Sentry for crashes and errors, Google Analytics or any simple analytics to see what users actually do. These tools are proven, and at the MVP stage they are often free or very cheap. Most importantly, they can save you months. And that matters because your first version will change a lot. So earn the right to build custom later. First, prove demand. First, learn what users actually need, because you can spend months building something proper and then users tell you they don't even need it. So don't optimize for scale too early. If you get 1 million users in week 1, that's a great problem to have. You will have traction, data, and the reason to rebuild properly. Until then, optimize for shipping fast and reacting fast. And here is the mindset shift in MVP that you should use. So at the MVP stage, you can do insane amount manually, and you should do that. Don't build an admin panel, use some spreadsheet. Don't spend time on edge cases, build for the most common path first. Don't automate everything. Manually handle the first 20 users and watch what they do, because the goal isn't optimization. The goal is learning. If you can't make it work for 20 users, scaling into 20,000 users won't magically fix it. Now, before you go, one last point. Be prepared, but don't get stuck in preparation. There isn't one perfect method that fits every business. A small startup, an internal tool in a big company, a B2B product, they all move differently. But what always helps is spending some time upfront to think. For example, you can look at Lean Startup as an inspiration, not as a strict rule. The idea is simple. You treat your product like a set of assumptions and you try to test the most important ones early. Another useful example is Lean Canvas. Just one-page way to write down what you believe, the problem, who is for, how you might monetize it, how you will reach users, and what do you want to learn. And today, you also have a huge advantage: AI tools. I will often paste the idea into an AI and ask what I am missing, what should I prove first, what could kill this idea. It's a fast way to get clarity before you spend weeks building. So just keep the balance. Do some research, write down a simple plan, and then ship something small. Don't turn preparation into a marathon. Make it a sprint. Prepare enough to move faster, then learn from real users and adjust. So remember, an MVP is a test, not the final product. Keep scope tight, know what do you want to learn, and don't build custom too early. Prepare a bit, ship fast, and learn fast. Then repeat. Sounds simple, but in real life, there is always one part that gets messy. I am curious, what is the biggest challenge you run into when building an MVP? Share that in the comments. I will jump in and help if I can. So that's all for today, and thanks for watching. See you next time.